Yeah. So we have a very special guest today. Could you do me a favor and introduce yourself?
Arnold Barbosa Jr.
Yes, sir. And if you ask me, in my opinion, this is a future world champion right here. Appreciate you taking time to chop it up with us, man.
Hey man, appreciate you having me, man.
Yes. So for those who don't know, he's a boxer. He's had a great career so far. I'm sure he's gonna do much more things. And 25-0, right?
Yeah,
Undefeated. This kid's the truth, man. So and he was born and raised in the city. Could you tell me a little bit about that? How was your life growing up?
yeah, man. I grew up right there on Rush and Stroger, South Almani. It was good, man. It was fun. I was doing a lot of kid things. I was always outside. Playing with friends, who I'm still friends with today. So it was fun, man. It was fun growing up there. I love the city.
Hell yeah. And what was it that led you to wanting to box?
I used to play soccer when I was little, and I didn't like it, and then my father used to be a pro kickboxer, so I know that we were watching fights one day, and I told him I wanted to go box, and then he just took me to the gym, man, and we just took off from there. I don't know, once I started fighting, I loved it.
That's a chill because you used to play soccer, so you probably already had the lungs for that shit too, like low
Nah,
key.
dude, what? I sucked at soccer, man.
Oh.
I remember my dad said a story. I tried to hit the ball and I hit my head and I was crying. And then when I told him that I wanted to box, he said how are you gonna box if you fall and hit your head and you cry? What are you gonna do when someone hits you? So it was just it was crazy, man. It just took off from there.
Yeah, and you know, boxing is something that not anyone could do, but not everybody can. You know what I mean? Because it's something that requires a lot of discipline. So growing up where there's in a city where there's a lot of distractions, like there's a lot of shit going on, like all the time, right? It's easy to get caught up, not just with like gangs and all that shit, but even just with like partying and shit like that, right? So what was it that kept you disciplined and focused?
Man, you said it. Boxing is it is the hardest sport. You got to be disciplined. In training, out of training. You got to take care of your body. You got to make sure you don't go too much on weight. You got to maintain your weight. You got to make sure you're training hard. You got to make sure you're running. You got to do everything.
Yeah,
My childhood was kind of taken away. Because I started at 5.5 years old. So we used to get up. My dad used to make us get up at 5 in the morning, go run leg, and then we'll go home, eat a waffle, and then take a shower, go to school.
yeah,
And then when I get home, it was straight to the gym. And then by the time I got home from the gym, I was tired.
yeah.
And then being a kid, dieting, it was hard. But yeah, there was a lot of distractions, and you just gotta, it just seems who it's who wants it more, man. Who wants it more, and and yeah, man, that's how it is.
Yeah, so it's all about that heart, right? Because Lake, for those who don't know, that's a 3 mile run, and that's every day. As a kid, you were doing that shit. Damn. So
Yeah, man, every day as a kid.
were there any days, like let's say when you're young, right, and you're saying like it kind of in a way took away your childhood? It pays off in the long run, right? But were there any days where you're like, man, fuck this, I just want to be a kid? Like this shit kind of like it's cool, but it kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Because I can't do what I want to do.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Every time, I'll have to I'll try to go outside and play, and then just hear my dad yelling from outside the house my name, oh no. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to the gym. Damn.
Yeah.
It was hard. But yeah, I fell out of love with boxing. When I hit
Mm.
13, and when I got to high school, I didn't box anymore. I just played football. And then
Damn.
that's when I started working out. I got real dedicated in football. Thought I was gonna be like an NFL player and shit.
Yeah.
And then of course, I seen guys in college and how fast they played. And I realized that I gotta go back to boxing, man. I missed it, after high school, so I went back, and then that's when we took off.
So how long were you away from boxing?
Uh, about 7 years, 6 years, 7 years.
Shit. Did you notice like
Yeah.
a drastic change during that time? Like was there a change in like in you, because you're a lot more mature at that point, you know what I mean? Like you're not fully grown, but you're a lot more mature. Did you notice like a change in your body, the way you can do things, the way you can move? Or was it just like riding a bike? You did that shit the same way?
No, it was hard because like when I came back to the gym, I was 200 and like 210 pounds because I used to play linebacker. I used to lift
Mm,
a lot of weights, so
yeah.
it was hard to lose the muscle instead of the fat, So
Yeah.
I was sparring big dudes, man. And my dad would put me in with heavyweights, and I was sparring big guys, and it was hard, man. The comeback was hard. It took me like almost a year to get like to get my weight down and get used to the weight because I dropped so much weight so fast that like my body was getting tired after like two
Oh yeah,
rounds. So
yeah.
it was hard, man. Like, people don't understand like what I went through was hard.
Damn. And at that point, because that's major dedication, right? Because you're like you said, you're trying to stay in shape at the same time lose muscle. Like that's very fucking difficult to do. And at that time, did you know you were gonna go pro, or was it were you just like we'll see how this goes?
Yeah, it was more like like I wanted to go pro. I was
Mm.
like I wanted to go pro, and then I told my dad like I wanted to go pro, but he didn't take me serious, because like I would always go to the gym just to spar and like like just spar really like almost release anger, so to speak, But I would, he didn't train me like with the mitts or anything for like 5 months. He
Damn.
just let me hit the bags, and he just seen like that I was losing weight. I started being dedicated, so then he started training me, and then like he told me like we'll have like 10 amateur fights coming back, and from there we'll see how it goes. So then yeah, I had 10 amateur fights. I went to the USA tournament, fought out there a lot. I went to the nationals and lost, and then just went pro, man. And then here we are, man. I didn't think that I'm gonna make it this far. To me, I was like, fuck it, I have like 5 fights, and
Yeah.
as long as I say I did it, because I did boxing so long. So, but nah, man, it took off. Every fight got better and better.
Oh, and preparing like as the South Amani Community Center, that's where you trained at, right? What
Yeah.
what what is it about that place that kind of like gets fighters like ready? Because I've seen a lot of fighters coming out of there that are really good. And like my boy, I don't know if you know him. He was in YA with me. It's my motherfucking boy, Ricky the One Duenas. He
Oh yeah, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's my motherfucking boy right there. He was in there, and he even said how when he first started fighting, because he fresh out of YA, he was fighting like a street fighter, right? But right there, it really taught him how to box. And there's different trainers there. So what is it about that place that really brings out like boxers where you're skilled? It's not like you're not trying to brawl. You're really trying to, because you have that style where you box. You know what I mean? Like you'll
Yeah.
see you go to the head, bam, body shot, and it's like you're really like what is it that gets you looking at everything rather than fuck it, we're gonna wear these fools down?
It's a combination of the trainer, the training, and at the time, because I don't know a lot of people don't, I don't know a lot of people know, but like when we grew up, my age and like our class, so to speak, right there at South Amani, there's a lot of pros that went pro. It was me, it's JoJo, some guy Xavier, Victor Pasillas, some guy Saul Bustos. Like there's like six pros like us that all came out of there. We're all doing good, So
Yeah.
so I don't know if it was in the water or it's just the city, like I don't know, man. It's just, we just became really good fighters. I don't know what it is. I know it's the trainers as well, but you got to have it in you, and
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy how many fighters that come in at that gym.
Yeah, it's a trip because I at first, growing up, we didn't really have a lot of fighters coming out of Monte, South del Monte, right? And then yeah, you're right. As soon as like that time period came, and just like, whoa, shit, like these motherfuckers, and like legit, right? Like they're not just going over there like boom, 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 boom. Like it's not like they're taking their time, they're looking, you know what I mean? And I noticed that
Yeah.
about you. You're patient. Like you're young, but you're patient. Where do you get that from? Like your timing too. How does all that, does it just come naturally to you, or is that something you work on?
It's a little bit of both, like it's natural, but at the same time, you got to train,
Mhm.
training and get it training too, so I give a big credit to my pops, man. He's been working hard and growing with me,
Yeah.
because as far as I'm going, it's my first time being up here. My dad's too.
Yeah.
He's never had a fighter that's been up here in this level either. So we're both doing it together and learning together, man. So it's shout out to him.
Yeah, much love. Yeah, and you you said, you mentioned you became pro. You start fighting. How did you get a deal with Top Rank? How did that end up happening?
Man, it's crazy because my first 3 fights, Gary Shaw gave me those fights. It was a promoter that used to be not up. Oh, it's not up anymore. But because I had a buddy that used to fight for them. My dad trained, Alex Luna. So I was fighting on his undercards, and then and then they sent us a contract, but we didn't really like it. So and then we tried going with another promoter. Like we hit up everybody, and like no one was giving us a chance, man. No one, like, we didn't fight for a whole year and a half, like, because no one wanted to give us a fight, and then we didn't want to go to TJ, so we were like, nah, fuck that. Like, my dad's just like telling me, like, my dad's always preached patience with me, like, hey, be patient, something will come. And then Mike Alvarado came down, and he was gonna fight Marquez at the forum. He fought Marquez at the forum, so he needed sparring. So we were like, oh yeah, we'll spar him because we need, it was like, we're going to get experience, and then he was going to pay us. So we're like, fuck it, we'll do it,
Yeah.
So we sparred him, and we did really good against him. And then his manager, like, really liked me. He's like, hey, man, like, are you signed with anybody? Like, like, nah, like, I'm trying to get a fight.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I'll get you into top rank, if you sign with me as your manager. And I was like, well, get us in, and then we'll talk,
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then, like, we went to the Mike Alvarado fight, and then we met the matchmaker for top rank. His name's Brad Goodman. We met him. And he see me, man. He gave me a shot. He gave me a shot on the Unimas fights. He's like, hey, we'll give you a shot. So he gave us a shot, man. We had like 4 fights. They looked at me, and then they finally signed me, and man, that was crazy. I already did 5-year contract with them, and now I'm on my second contract for another 3 years. So I'm happy, man. I'm blessed.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Because a lot of people that don't know the sport, right, or they don't know the background of it. De La Hoya was with Top Rank, right? Mayweather was with Top Rank. So you had some major legends. They were with Top Rank. How does it feel to like be in the same promotion that started off a lot of their legendary careers?
Yeah, well, you said it, man. Like, top. Not a lot of people know that Bob Arum and Top Rank, promoted Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know that. You okay, baby? Yeah. So I'm sorry, my daughter's right here.
Oh, no,
but yeah, so yeah, we they don't know that, but it's an honor, man, and then especially talking to Bob Arum sometimes, it's like, it's crazy, I never thought that I'd be in this position at all, especially fighting on ESPN, big cards, so like, it's crazy, man. It's a dream come true. I would never even thought, but hey, man, here we are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I like that you brought that up, because that's the next thing I wanted to bring up is a lot of people were looking forward to that Lomachenko fight, right? And you were on that undercard, and that's a huge national fucking spotlight, right? And for youngsters, I know you're not as young as a lot of other people, but you're relatively young when it comes to, your career and boxing and shit. For a lot of youngsters, freeze up. What was it that made you say, like, nah, I'm a fucking champion? You know what I mean? Like this is my time.
Well, I think a lot of the, hey, mommy. Okay, baby. Go. I'll go in. Okay. I think a lot of the fighters nowadays, like especially the younger ones, they're just content with when they fight on ESPN or like a lot of fighters would have been like shocked to be the co-main event on Teofimo card against Lomachenko. Like a lot of people would have,
Yeah.
They would have felt pressured, and they would have been like, oh man, I gotta live up to the main event, this and that. But I'm not, it wasn't like that for me. For me, it's like I'm happy to be there. I'm thankful, thank God for being there and putting me in this position. But I got a job to do, man. And I gotta go in there and win the fight. I gotta win the fight. The way I seen it was like, if I don't win this fight, I won't be able to get a house. I won't be able to support my kids. I won't be able to do stuff like that. So I had to win, and that was my mindset. Like, to be honest, man, I didn't really care for main event or for anyone else. I'm just there for my fight.
Yeah.
And I know I had a tough opponent in front of me. And so I knew the fight was gonna be exciting because I knew what we were gonna take into the fight. And I know what he was gonna bring. So I was excited too to see where I was at. What kind of level I was at. So that's the mindset I have, man. It's cool to be thankful you're there, but not to be satisfied. You can never be satisfied in this sport.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I want to take it back a little bit because you brought up earlier how you sparred with the Mike Alvarado, right? And then you ended up getting a fight with him. Did that sparring help you anyway, or did that make you kind of nervous? Like, oh shit, like this fool gave me a chance, like, or was it all business? Like you said, you came to do your job.
Yeah, it was all business, man. Before the fight, after that sparring session, me and Mike became cool friends, man. Like like every fight, like almost every fight, he would hit me up like, "Hey man, good luck, you know, like do your thing.
Yeah.
I'll be watching this now." But all thanks, bro. You know, appreciate it. I'd always, you know, asking for a little advice here and there, you know. And when I found out we were gonna fight, like I was like, damn, you know, like it sucked, but it had to be done if I wanted to climb to the next level, you know.
Yeah.
And but after the fight, man, like me and him reconnected. Like I chopped it, I call him up like not that long ago. We were on the phone for like an hour, man, just chopping it up, you know.
Yeah.
Seeing how he was doing, man, and you know, it was all love, you know, it's all love, you know. And shout out to Mike, man. You know, he you know, gave me the shot. You know, he you know, we fought, and you know, and he came to win, man. That's the hardest he said he's ever trained. So he was trying to, you know, come back and make a comeback as well. So it's all business, man.
Yeah. For me, you know, what's crazy is that I remember with that fight, you were relatively, I mean, like I was like, you were like coming up, right? And I was like, damn, like he's an older cat, but that motherfucker's dangerous. Is this the
Yeah.
right, is this the right time? Is this the right time for him? You know what I mean? Are they pushing him too fast? And I know a lot of people are thinking the same thing because you're like that. He's older, he's experienced, he's a brawler, he hits fucking hard. You know what I mean? And it's like, is this youngster ready for this? And you went over there and you showed like hell yeah, you're ready for that. What is it that you think that keeps you in that mindset where I belong here, where others might be like, oh fuck, like what am I doing here? But you're like, nah, I belong here. How do you get that? Is that something you're born with, or is that something that you work towards?
You know, it's just a little bit of both. Something more work, you know. Because to be honest, I didn't even think, you know, like for a while I was like, man, I don't even know if I belong in you know, in boxing, you know.
Yeah.
And that fight, you know, boosted me up, you know, boosted my confidence a lot, you know. And then this last fight, you know, boosted my confidence even more, you know. So like my confidence is still growing, man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm now starting to realize, hey man, like fuck, I belong here, you know. Like I could bang them with the best, you know. I'm ranked, you know, top 5 in my division probably, you know. So it's a blessing, man, because our division stacked, you know.
Yeah.
So that fight, man, it helped me a lot. And then the fights, it's getting better, man. It's just getting better and better.
As you mentioned, you know, that your division's very tough division. The next one up is even like that shit is even tougher, right? Welterweight. Do you plan on making a move up there anytime soon, or are you gonna catch a championship at 140 first?
No, I'm gonna stay at 140 for a while until I get belts. If I'll probably move down before I go up. To be honest, you know, I started my career at 147, and I think I'm small for 147. But you know, I think I'll probably go down before I go up, if anything.
Yeah. And are there any fights that you like? I know promoters make the fights and the fighters will fight anyone in front of them, but are there any fights that you were like, that'd be an interesting fight? You know what I mean? Like that's something I want to do, even if not now, before your career is over. Is there anybody out there right now where you're like, yeah, that I could see that being a good fight?
I mean, of course, the champions, you know, like Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, you know, but I know they probably pretty much have their things set already, like what they're gonna do, you know. But hopefully in the future, man. I mean, there's a lot of great fighters out there, you know, and great fights
Yeah.
out there can be made, you know. It's just up to the promoter and it's up to the timing of it too.
Yeah.
So hopefully, man, hopefully we can get something going soon.
Oh yeah. What are your plans next? You going for a world title or what are you thinking?
We gotta see. You know, I feel like the division's all everyone's on a standby right now. You know,
Yeah.
like the 140 division is waiting for the two champions to fight and see what they're gonna do until we start making our moves. You know, so like we're just in line right now. So we gotta wait to see when they're gonna fight and see what's gonna happen, and then, you know, see what we can do.
And what do the next couple of years look like for you in an ideal scenario?
Man, who knows, man? Like, you know, tomorrow's not promised to anybody, man. So like, I
Yeah.
don't really look that far. You know,
Yeah.
I just go day by day, man, and fight by fight. You know, and you know, we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully good. You know, hopefully great.
Yeah. So one thing that I love right now is that your daughter came. She showed love. You I mean how is it that you like when you're training? I know you have to take away a lot of family time, right? What is it that keeps you motivated to stick with those sacrifices, knowing that you're doing it for their benefit?
Well, I mean, it's hard because like they don't understand it. You know, like right
Yeah.
now it's like, dang, like he can't be here a lot. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, at the end result, you know, like it's gonna be worth it. You know, like like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't worth it. You know, like it's not gonna be worth it. You know, so you know, I just feel like, you know, sacrifice now and live it good later. You know, like hopefully, you know, I can make something good out of this and get as much as I can and get out, man. Because I'm not trying to box forever either. You know,
Yeah.
so hopefully I get as much as I can, man, and you know, and secure a good future for them.
And so I want to ask you some boxing questions real fast of just like your opinion. Are there any fights outside of your weight class that you're looking forward to or you want to see be made that you think would be interesting? Even not with you, like just other fighters.
Yeah, I would like to see the Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. You know, I'd like to
Yeah.
see Terrence Crawford against like any PVC fighter, like a Earl Spence, a Sean Porter, or you know, like just for other fighters. You know, like it sucks that like I'm thinking maybe they're avoiding him a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
but I just want to see like I like Terrence Crawford, man. He's a great fighter, so I want to see him fight the best at 147.
I think a lot of people want that Earl Spence fight for sure, because that's one. And I tell everybody, I've never seen Porter have a easy fight, and that's just because he doesn't make it easy. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, dude's a savage.
yeah, he goes in there with the best of them, and he's ready. So, you know, I know you're busy. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Did you want to say anything else before we wrap it up?
No, man, I just want to, you know, thank everybody, you know, that's been following me from the beginning of my career, who just started following me. You know, just know that I'm working, man. You know, we're grinding, and I appreciate it, man. And hope to become a champion real soon.
Oh yeah, and again, City of Monte is proud of you. Much love, G, from El Monte and South El Monte.
Hey, man, thank you.
Much love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do it for them, man. Hopefully the bout comes back.
Oh, it's going to. Believe me. Like I said, I'm confident. I've been following you for a while. I see your skill set, and I know that you have the ability to become world champion. And it sounds like you got the hunger, and that's what it takes, right? Opportunity and motherfucking discipline. You got that shit, G. Well,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
And with that, we out. Much love. Peace.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Anytime.